Hi, y'all. It's Michelle with PlanetWOW.club and our official blog over at bmichellepippin.com. And I'm here to talk with you today for another episode of Hashtag Mornings with Michelle. And I want to talk about 3 ways you can tell if your marketing has any real muscle or not. And before I get into those 3 ways that really kind of separate muscle marketing from what I call money marketing, I want to talk about where this was born. I did an event that I took on tour with a partner for 8 cities one year, 10 cities one year. And from what I understand, there's some people who are still out there using my marketing with muscle topic, which I absolutely love because I think this is such a critical shift for women entrepreneurs to make in their mindset regarding how they market. Now, how this marketing with muscle really originated for me was back in the day when my husband and I were engaged and we were building a house. And in my family, you know, when you didn't have money, which was a reality, right? But when you didn't have money, it didn't mean that you couldn't build a house. Just because you didn't have a down payment, you could use what we called sweat equity, right? So you could use your muscle and your skill when you didn't have the cash to put down. And that's exactly what we did to build our home. And we used our sweat equity. And so when I entered into business, I realized that I didn't have the money to market. I'd have to build this business with muscle, not money. I'd have to build it with sweat equity. I'd have to market in a way that was free except for my time and expertise and effort. And so that's where the whole concept of marketing with muscle really was born. And so when you think about whether or not your marketing is working, this is something that's been so complicated, maybe deliberately so, I'm not sure, but it's been so complicated by so many people because what happens is they say, well, I'm not sure if my marketing is working. And I'm thinking, well, okay, let's roll through this, right? Like, what's your marketing supposed to be doing? And the truth is, there's lots of different ways that your marketing can work for you, right? Obviously, is it bringing in ideal leads, right? If it is, then you know it's working. Is it bringing in leads that actually come ready to buy, credit card or check in hand, because you've done such a great job pre-selling them and indoctrinating them in such a way that they prefer to buy from you over any other option out there. So marketing makes the sales process more effective and shorter. Marketing brings in qualified leads. And so, but there's lots of ways to market. And so I want to talk with you about 3 ways that you can tell if your marketing has any true and real muscle or not. But I did want to leave out sort of the origin story of how the marketing with muscle was born. And I also didn't want to leave you without 3 qualifying factors to tell whether or not you're marketing with muscle, with real muscle. So the first way to tell if you're marketing with muscle is your marketing hinges on how intimately you know your target market, right? So the truth is, when you know your target market so intimately, you know what they're thinking about, you know what their fears are, you know, oh, thank you. I'm going to say to you, Lisa, exactly what my mom says to me when I say, you look so beautiful. And she'll say, you love me. But I appreciate you saying I look beautiful. So really quickly, muscle marketing, the first way to tell is it hinges on what you know about your target market, right? The person, the woman who knows their market most intimately wins, right? That's true. By the way, even in romantic relationships, right? But you want to know your target market so well that when you speak, when you make an offer, when you sell something, they feel like you are speaking to their heart, right? And so when you do that, you know you're marketing with muscle because money can't buy that. Money can't buy that intimacy. The second way to tell if you're marketing with muscle is your marketing has a specific call to action. It's actually inviting people, asking people, urging people to stand up and be counted, to raise their hand, to say yes to something, right? Otherwise, you're kind of marketing a little bit passively. You're sort of doing that, I I hate this. I was going to say like that girl thing, right? Where you're kind of like waiting to be picked. And I hate to say that's a girl thing. It's maybe a 1950s girl thing, but you're like waiting to be picked. And I'll be honest with you, as empowered as I feel as a woman, I often find myself, even in my journaling, if you, I won't do this, but if I ever were to like publish my journals, a lot of it has that I want to be found mentality, right? Like I want to be picked. And that's really passive. It's not really muscle marketing. And so the second way to tell if you have muscle in your marketing is that you've got a specific measurable call to action in what you're doing and how you're showing up. You're asking people to join you, to say yes, to, move forward in some way. And the third way to tell if you got true muscle in your marketing is that it is for a specific audience, right? So it doesn't try to appeal to the masses. True marketing with muscle does not try to appeal to the masses. That means that you're rolling out a red carpet for one group of people and you know it's going to repel another group of people and you're okay with it, right? So if you are catering to a specific niche market, then you know that other people are going to see it and maybe think that you're too bossy or you're too expensive or you're too airy-fairy or you're too something, and you're okay with it because you've got that muscle of confidence behind you and you're willing to repel some in order to attract others. Lisa says that 1950s wanting to be found mentality is pervasive. Absolutely. And I was born in 1977. I would have never thought that this was something that was pervasive in my life, let alone in my business. And yet when I flip through my journal, it's very obvious that I had sort of that, even writing into reality, different things about, being found or being asked or being approached. And anyway, it was just something that was interesting for me to get to work through. And, when I can look back at my business, the times when I've been most powerful, most muscle bound, the analogy of muscle marketing, when that has been most obvious, it's been when I have really worked through some of that I want to be found, I want to be approached kind of mentality and taken it on my own shoulders. So those are the three ways to tell if your marketing has any real muscle. If you're just joining in, at the beginning of this video, I did talk about the origin of my muscle marketing analogy and a couple different ways to tell if your marketing is working, and then the three ways to tell if you're marketing with real muscle or not. And so I appreciate you guys. I look forward to being with you on tomorrow's hashtag Mornings with Michelle episode. And if you have any questions or something you'd like me to cover, certainly put it in the comments below and I will talk with you soon. Bye.